Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Entrepreneurship and Human Development Zone, brought to you by the Education Support Forum. Today, we have Oludotun Babayemi, who is from Nigeria and runs an organization called CODE. How are you doing, Olu?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you for having me today.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be graced by your presence. I know you're a busy man, but thank you very much for affording us the time just to talk about the inspiring work you're doing, because you are looking at something that is of uttermost importance, which is accountability. So, do you want to tell us more about what you do at Code and how you are doing it?
Yeah, Connected Development is an initiative that started out of a Follow the Money project in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
In Nigeria, we just found out that billions of dollars in government funds and international aid
Mm-hmm.
have been promised by government institutions to provide development projects
Mm-hmm.
in rural communities across Nigeria, and we can also say across the continent.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, some of these funds never get to provide those projects,
Yeah.
specifically social infrastructures
Mm-hmm.
like health facilities, educate teaching aids,
Yeah.
and also water points in some of these communities. So that's even not the case. The case is also that community members that these projects are meant for are
Mm-hmm.
not aware of such funds.
Wow.
And even at times when they are aware of the funds,
Mm-hmm.
they lack that will or the capacity
Yeah.
to challenge those that are in authority
Mm-hmm.
and engage them critically
Yeah.
on why the funds didn't make the project to happen or why it did not happen, why the projects uh, were not constructed or why facilities were not available. So, Connected Development Follow the Money project
Yeah.
offer those communities a platform
Yeah.
to assess the information,
Uh-huh.
interact, and mobilize them to demand accountability
Mm-hmm.
in a way that we can ensure that those funds are used to provide such social infrastructures needed in their communities.
Wow. Wow.
Between 2012 and 2018,
Mm-hmm.
um, we have worked in 87 communities in
Mm-hmm.
32 states in Nigeria,
Wow.
and we have worked with about 1.2 million people
Mm.
in these communities in order to make them engage their government, could be the subnational government to provide them water points, health facilities, and classrooms for pupils.
Mm-hmm.
Um, co- Community membership on our project has now grown to 2,856
Wow.
in between 2012 and between 2017 that we turned into a membership-based organization.
Mm-hmm.
Um, 2,856 at my last count,
Yeah.
and we've had membership. We now have chapters in the Gambia
Wow.
and also in Kenya,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and also membership from Togo, Uganda, and Ghana.
Wow.
Basically, this is the focus of the organization, and our project activities are focused on promoting um, youth and women in their communities
Mm-hmm.
to focus on social accountability in order to advance effective feedback mechanisms regarding some of these infrastructures in their communities.
Wow. So,
Um,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So Olu, this is a really
yeah.
pan-African initiative which you are taking and saying we have to have it in every African country. So, and your name is quite profound. I mean, connected development. You find that there's so many initiatives that are going on in Africa, and there's a disconnect. So, with you, how are you collaborating with other organizations in achieving this multi-dimensional but important aspect of governance?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a Pan-African initiative, and the approach that we took was to make it quite organic.
Uh-huh.
So, in reaching other African countries, so it's not like we have a plan
Mm-hmm.
that says, oh, we will work in Uganda and Kenya in the next 1 year. No, but it is like we want organizations that are in this country
Yeah.
that feels what we're doing is what they need in their country or
Yes.
what they can achieve in their country. So
Yes.
using the model that we've created, they can now use that. They can just go to ifollowthemoney.org, which is
Yeah.
our knowledge platform that
Yeah.
we have created, and pick the model. It's a knowledge exchange platform, so they can actually learn from or activities from various communities and use that in their own community. And also that we provide technical support
Uh-huh.
on our own part. And that's one of the key things we provide for some of these organizations. So like Gambia
Mm.
participates in the Gambia that
Mm-hmm.
is running the follow the money model that we started.
Yeah.
We provide technical assistance to them in also being able to use the strategies that we use in engaging communities in their own country. Same thing with Kenya as
Mm-hmm.
well. There's SEDEC Kenya, which works in some of these slums in Nairobi,
Yeah.
and they have been and their own work is actually recent. Their own follow the money work. So we've just been doing some kind of capacities online,
Mm-hmm.
but we've not been able to ascertain their strategies offline, which is something we're hoping to do. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I, I also think the goalkeepers
Mm.
would be an opportunity. This meeting in
Mm-hmm.
South Africa will also be an opportunity to share some of our stories and
Mm-hmm.
see how it inspires some other organizations. They could also learn from it, and also for us to also, for me to also
Mm-hmm.
learn from the kind of work they do and see
Mm-hmm.
how we can connect both, just like the name of the
Yeah.
organization is Connected Development.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
So connect that inspiration
Mm-hmm.
together
Yeah.
and work together and create an African movement on governance, and also largely I think the third thing that I would be expecting is to,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, increase our network so that we have a network of like-minded people
Yeah.
in that we can tap from in the goalkeepers. Yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, what you're doing is literally disrupting and dismembering the status quo, and I think you are bound to meet a lot of resistance or even threats, because I know, like, the lady, what's her name, Ozzy. I know she's running for president in Nigeria.
Yeah,
She
Obi,
started.
Obi.
Yes, Obi. She started Transparency International, and at times she got threats, like
Uh-huh.
death threats. Yeah. So are you not experiencing the same? Because yeah, these guys want to eat. They've always been eating, and you are coming with accountability.
Yeah, I mean, I think we now live with the threats, and the threats should or wouldn't threaten us in the work that we do.
Yeah.
And just to say, we've actually been threatened, and I mean, I could give an example. In 2013, while I was facilitating a town hall meeting
Yeah.
in
Hello. Oh, I think we lost connection. We are waiting to reconnect. As we hear what Oludotun Babayemi is telling us about Follow the Money project via the Connected Development Initiative. Okay, we'll try and redial him and get him online.
yeah, I
Yes,
lost you
hello.
somewhere there.
No, it's okay. We lost
Hello.
contact. Yes, I can hear you now clearly. Yes, you can continue, Oludotun.
Yeah, I mean, in 2013, I was in a town hall meeting and the way we engaged during our town hall meeting is by bringing together the communities that needed the infrastructure,
Mm-hmm.
the government agency that is involved, and also the media. And I
Yes.
was facilitating, and someone from the government agency, the State Security Service,
Yeah.
um, actually said, "Oh, the plan that I just mentioned, we should be careful about it. We should not go ahead with such plan in going to the community and trying to mobilize them. And I mean, that's just one of those kind of threats. I've known several times where our community members that are working in their communities have actually been threatened by politicians during several town hall meetings. But I think the joy about it is when our members more majorly see the outcome of engaging this government officials. And I think it's not about we and them. I think we are together. Is a cause for Africa. Is a cause for Nigeria. So we shouldn't be deterred by some of the threats that they make or try to make. And I think it is by actually also taking into cognizance that those threats exist, but we still work within the threats that makes our work and our life so easy for us. So,
true.
So that's
So you know what? Since there's no us and them, it's we, because we all want a good a thriving economy, a thriving Africa, a thriving Nigeria is good for Africa.
Of course.
So do you think that enough is being done to get the youth at the center, at the table of decision making? Because a lot of decisions are being made on behalf of the youths, but these are 70-year-olds making decisions on our behalf. And should the youth wait to be given the power, or should they? I mean, they have the numbers, so they can run for office. They can, So, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I do. In youth forums, I do say that. Come on, we can learn from examples. Jesus was only some years that he started bringing people into the temple.
True.
Muhammad was very young when he started the movement of Islam.
Yeah.
And if you look at so many, the Wright brothers were so young, were in their 27s when they started thinking of making men to fly like angels.
Nice.
So I think it's just the time. There should be no time to say, oh, the leaders should give us chance. I think we should take on the baton ourselves. I believe in our solidarity as young people. I think it is a time for us to solidarize within ourselves and be able to empower ourselves to take the challenge of leadership and not allow these old men, especially that we see in Africa, to continue to decide our future. So I think most importantly, we need that solidarity is very important for us to come together as young people and take that baton. We do not need a specific time for them to say, oh, this is the time we need the young people, or say, oh, we need this percentage to give to young people. I think we should just take the leadership now. I think now is just the time. We don't have to wait till any time before or give us a percentage for us to say, oh, it's time for the young people. I think we should just go ahead and do the best we can do.
Nice. Okay, so I'm going to ask you in closing, right, a hypothetical question where I'm going to ask you, if you had a magic wand and you were the most powerful person on earth, what two things right? What two things would you change, or such that humanity benefits, the African child benefits, and as a shorter life, the quality life?
This is an interesting question. But I think most importantly, I think what I would focus on is rethinking the value we give to education. I think education is something that needs to be looked at. In all parts of the world, but most importantly, I think Africa, or the part of Africa that I do come from, will focus on rethinking education and seeing how I think one project I'm actually working on right now is to see how we can reinvigorate Teachers Without Borders. Yes, there are problems with teaching. So on the demand side and on the supply side. So for children that are receiving the learning, and for teachers that are supposed to instill the learning. So we have poor learning outcomes in this part of the world, and I think is something I would really focus on. In getting appropriate teachers. I think it's very important, and also the curriculum that is being used. Not necessarily local knowledge could be so important, which I see that is missing along the line. So education is so key to my mind. Number two would be I mean, where I work presently would be how to look around governance, strengthening governance, strengthening governance in Africa, in West Africa, making sure that young people are allowed to take on the baton, not only of leadership, but in all these institutions. I mean, we should see, we should provide the opportunity for our young people. I've visited so many institutions in West Africa, and I still see old people that are there in this age that we are in. I think it's quite appalling. So it's very appalling. I think we should give more chance. We should make our institutions also a place where our young people are yearning to walk in. Because I think most young people that do have the capacity would not want to work in some of these institutions. They will prefer to work with MTN, Shell, Texaco, and I mean the multinationals, but not in the institutions.
True. I think there's a remuneration effect as well. So you know what? When you were talking, something just popped up in my mind, and I was thinking of the Mo Ibrahim index, for good governance and stuff. Are you looking to have a similar index and have a name and shame database where if someone steals money in Nigeria, they cannot come and hide in South Africa, because in South Africa we'll know exactly what they're running away from, because people just change countries, when they steal money.
Yeah, it's quite fascinating, because the Mo Ibrahim governance index, I know at one point he also was surprised that there was no African leader that could get a pass mark on the index. So naming and shaming, there are already organizations in Nigeria. So like Premium Times does a whole lot of naming and shaming, where you have a whole lot of names from the Panama Papers to so many papers, and they've named and shamed and said, see, these people are thieves. They're using public funds for private businesses, for their private gains, and instead. So I think the missing line is when these names are being published, how do we empower ourselves as communities, as citizens, to be able to hold these names accountable and be able, I think that's where the real work is, because the fact is that we still have some people that still take these people as God and Goddess. That's like, true. He's a big man, he has done this for me, but they're using public funds for their personal gains. So it is, there are some countries that have published names, and with that, they had to protest, and there was a sack of of, yeah, I think in Iceland or so,
Yeah, yeah,
there was
yeah,
there was one of the parliament members who
yeah.
was on the name of I think the Panama Papers,
That's it.
and was gone. So, but I mean, for instance, in Nigeria, the Senate president who was indicted on the Panama Papers is still the Senate president and still wanted to contest for president in
Yeah.
the country.
The
So,
problem is
and
that we we don't have accountability, or even if we name and shame, there are no consequences. The communities do not get back the money that has been stolen and stuff like that. You know what? We could talk all day, but thank you very much for your enlightening insights on the social movement that started with Follow the Money, and that is spreading across Africa. And hopefully we'll see a code index, right? That just like the
Yes.
Mo Ibrahim index. So thank you very much.
Yes.
This was a conversation on the Education Support Forum on the Human Development Zone, and I was talking to Oludotun Babayemi. Hey, I messed up your surname right there.
No. That's the way it is. Thank
Is
you
it?
for pronouncing it. Yeah, that's the right way to pronounce
Okay.
it. Thank you very much.
Sure. Thank you very much. See you in December at the Goalkeepers event as courtesy of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation that will be held in Johannesburg, South Africa. So thank you very much, Olu.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Sure. Okay.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.